Hello and welcome back to Dragon Quest Vault Tutorials. I'm CodeTGZ, and in this video I want to do a kind of short video on leveling. I haven't gone over leveling before, but I wanted to do a video on this since I actually do have all my characters leveled up to 75 with all classes. So the first thing that you want to think about is having a balanced party. So you want to have, in my personal opinion, two attackers, one spellcaster, and one healer, or three attackers and one healer. So pretty much my go-to party is going to be Battlemaster, Ranger, Armamentalist, and then healer. So with my Battlemaster, what I have here is I want to have the Hagare Metal Sword. The reason why is because this sword is good both against regular enemies and also against metal enemies. So there aren't that many weapons that are like that, since some of the metal weapons don't do a whole lot of damage to your regular enemies. But this particular weapon, the Hagure Metal Sword, has a specific Dane skill that actually does pretty decent damage to regular enemies. But definitely, this is something that you want to have. If you don't have this in your particular inventory, it doesn't matter too much. You can also get the Crimson Spear as well. That actually does work too. If you do have just like regular metal weapons, that actually could work. But this is going to be the most effective weapon if you're going to do a battle for leveling. Then here, for my Ranger, um, I want to have you can pretty much have anything you want, but usually my go-to gear is going to be the Black Storm gear. So the Black Storm Claw has a roundhouse kick that does boggy damage, and also since it actually does it does okay, decent damage, but I really use it for shadow binds. So then next, I'm going to have my spellcaster. So this is going to be my Armamentalist spellcaster. So Armamentalist can be both attacker and spellcaster, but I often like using them as a spellcaster and getting the force breaks in. Especially with Lamia's staff. Lamia's staff has Ionizun, so that actually does massive EO damage to all enemies, and most enemies are going to be weak to EO damage. There are very few enemies that are going to be resistant to it, but using Lamia's staff, or if you don't have Lamia's staff, you can use the Inazuchi staff. So that's going to be right down here in the Fukubiku. So definitely try getting this. There's right now no time limit on this, so definitely you have plenty of chances of getting this particular weapon. Then going back to our party, you're also going to have your healer. So that's going to be the standard healing sage. So you've heard me talk about this particular sage all the time. Satori Gaf, Satori Year, my new standard healing soul. So yes, go over that quite often. So with this particular party, gone over the equipment, the souls, you want souls that increase the damage of whatever attribute their weapon has. So for example, Lamia's staff, I'm going to have on Hargon. Hargon gives me boost to not just regular spell damage, which is +5, but also EO spell damage with +10. Probably the best one for here is going to be the Dancing Jewels, +10% to spell damage and +10% to EO spell damage. So that's actually going to work out quite well. Same going to be here. If you can't find anything that increases the actual attribute, so for example, I'm boosting the Dane damage of this particular weapon, you can actually just have increases to weapon skill damage, since that particular skill is going to be weapon damage based. Then one thing I also want to mention is that you want to have weapons that do damage to all enemies, because you want to take them down as fast as possible. That's going to be the main thing about leveling up, taking enemies down as fast as possible. So I want to get right in and show you how it works. So actually I'm gonna go into walk mode, and here we go. So with battles are going to just be about time. And like that, that battle is over quick. I only got 1,844 XP, but as you can see, I took them down very quick. So pretty much with the battles, you want to actually have battles where you're going to get a lot of XP. So for example, there are 3,000. So you want to have at least 3 enemies in the actual battle. So sometimes you don't know what you're going to get for the particular battle, but in some cases, when there's a red exclamation mark, you know that's going to actually be 4 enemies in that particular battle. But the more enemies there are, the more experience you're going to get. So this pretty much is going to be a guide for high level characters. So for your high level characters, you're going to want to average about 10,000 XP per minute. That sounds crazy, but it's definitely doable, especially if you have the right weapons on, and also if you're actually just walking around in walk mode. So that brings me to another thing about time, is that if you're going to be walking around, you need to do so for a certain amount of time, definitely. So in my case, I found that 3 to 4 hours a day of actual walking actually really helps me out with increasing the level of my characters. Even when it comes to driving, you don't need to actually have the game out and looking at it. You can just have it in your pocket while you're out driving, and it will, and when you slow down, you will encounter monsters, touch on recovery pots. So in that case, you do slowly get XP that way, even though you're not really doing much of anything. So that's definitely something that you can do. Then also, Hokuras are going to be another good way of getting XP, especially the Metal Hoimin Hokuras. So those guarantee you at least 42,000 XP, and then the maximum XP you're going to get is 84,000. In terms of the other Hokura, you can do them while you're out walking, but sometimes they may take a lot of time. And if that's the case, you probably could have gotten more experience in that amount of time just by walking around, having random encounters with enemies. Then also, what you can do is going to be the metal dungeons. So that's going to be usually on Friday afternoons. They will pop up right here in the event quest section. Since it is outside of that time period, you're not going to see it here, but I have made videos on those dungeons in the past. So then another team that I can show you is going to be this one. So this party is going to have a superstar, a pirate, battlemaster, and a paladin. So my paladin here is actually going to be my main healer, pretty much the exact same setup as the sage with the Satori gear, Satori staff. The souls are going to be slightly different, but it's pretty much just going to be the same concept. Paladins can also be attackers as well, but I find that after sages, they are probably the best healers in the game. Then with my superstar, with the gear that I have on is going to be the original gear of the superstar with the supernova, so I find that actually is quite effective. Then for my pirate, I'm going to have the Hagare metal sword. They don't have expertise with swords, but the characters don't really need the expertise with the weapon to use it effectively. That's really going to be what other equipment you have on in terms of armor, and then also what kind of souls that you have on. But my recommended weapon for the pirate is the one that it came with. That's going to be the Stormwave Breaker or Storm Anchor. So that's going to be Boggy based. Then this third attacker can really be any character that you want. In this case, it's going to be a Battlemaster equipped with the Dark Sword armor. That actually has both attacks that do damage to all enemies and to one single enemy. But like I said, this could be pretty much any particular class that you want it to be. This could be an Armamentalist if I choose to do so, and try to get Force Breaks. But in this case, the Force Breaks wouldn't be that effective in terms of the whole party, since this character is the only one equipped with Dormer-based attacks. So, for example, with this particular team, go into walk mode, and I'll show you real quick. Alright, so 4 enemies. And let's see how much damage I do here. So like that, the mummies are down, and then also with the superstar's abilities, Showtime increases in attack. So that was worth 4,000 XP, so that was very nice. D. Then here, in this case, 3 enemies. And down like that. So you want to try to get these enemies down as fast as possible to get that experience. So they are 3,200, so that's 7,000. And with this here, okay, only 2 enemies for this particular battle. Okay, but taken down. And there got 2,000. So that was about 9,000 XP for about 1 minute. So that's actually not that bad. I was hoping that it would have been not just 2 enemies, but at least 3. So let's see, check with this one. So here's going to be 4. Let's see what happens. Okay. And here with this, again, within 1 round, all enemies are gone. So this is pretty much how you want to level up. And it gets repetitive, I know, but you just have to keep going at it, especially if you want to get up to level 75. For myself, I'm a completionist, so I have to kind of do everything. But yeah, that's pretty much my recommendations for leveling up your characters. So hopefully you found this helpful in terms of what you should do for the leveling of your characters. You probably don't have, you might not have all the same equipment, but I'm pretty sure there is something that you can find. But with that said, I'm going to end this video here, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.